Welcome back to the British History Podcast wrap-up show. As always, I'm Benjo.
And I'm B.
It's been a little over a week since we posted our last one.
You said, welcome to the British History Podcast wrap-up show. That's the name of it for now.
Yes. I posted a little, what was it?
Like a poll?
Yeah, a poll. That's what it's called. A poll. I gave y'all two options, which only 2 people voted. But
to change or not to change?
To change. They voted.
They voted to change, so it was unanimous to change?
Yeah, it was unanimous to change. So we have come to a final decision. We are changing the name, but we have not come up with a name to change it to yet. So
that's where we need your help.
We're going to post another poll and, give y'all options in the comments too, whichever one.
I still don't believe that the British History Podcast wrap-up show is misleading in any way. I want to be on record as that. But
I'm understanding all y'all's issues. I think that. Anyway, so our options are British History Podcast.
We're going to call it BHP. We're just going to call it BHP.
BHP After Dark, the BHP Review, but review is spelled REVUE.
Yeah, I told him that word 12 hours before the Wordle came out, and the Wordle was review. Anyway.
Assan? Okay, and then Talking BHP.
And then
we're gonna give y'all an option if y'all have your own ideas. So we're gonna leave that up to y'all.
So review those 3 options again, or 4 options.
BHP After Dark, the BHP Review, REVUE, and Talking BHP, and then
open-ended.
Yeah, open-ended.
And if they want to do REVIEW, I guess
subscriber's choice.
Right.
Choice, yeah.
So we need y'all's help. Benjo, how you been doing, man?
Good. How about you?
Great. We're using a Walmart circle light tonight because you broke the light last night, and I got pretty mad, and I want to apologize publicly to my producer for getting so mad at you for breaking this. But we will have a new light tomorrow.
Yes.
All right. Anyway, Benjo, where are we here?
Just got to get a little sneak peek of the logo. Might not have that next time.
Right.
Wrap up. Okay. Anyway.
Can you change that?
Yeah, I can. I'll just go on CapCut. Okay. Don't get banned again, CapCut. All right. So season 1, episode 23. We're in between emperors at the moment.
We're in between emperors at the moment. That's the theme, right?
Different name for a episode, but
there's going to be all kinds of crazy names for episodes. Anyway, you remember what happened last time? The Gaelic Empire was defeated, which Britannia and Gaul and Germania at one time and Hispania were all part of. It's been defeated. Britain's back within the Roman Empire. They've kind of lost their autonomy because they're not part of the Gaelic Empire anymore. Yeah. And Postumus is dead. Postumus was the ruler of the Gaelic Empire. How did you describe him last time?
Oh, I was glazing him last time. But I was saying he was a really good empire because
emperor.
Although he didn't rule Rome or anything, he was gluing Gaul together. He was keeping them together, keeping them intact. And then right after he died, they just fell apart.
Right. I like the way you put that. He was the glue that kept the Gaelic Empire together. And when he left, you said it perfectly. So anyway, when the Gaelic Empire fell apart and there was kind of chaos in Gaul and on the continent, and the Roman legions, including the Roman emperor, came to put those down, you saw a surge of people with money fleeing from the continent coming to Britannia because it was still way further off, harder for the Roman legions to seek them out, and there was just more stability. So these wealthy property owners, merchants, whoever, were coming to Britannia, and they were building villas, and they were living in Britannia. So But at the same time, right as this happened, you listened to a little bit of this episode while we were on a walk.
Yeah. The other night I was on a walk with him and my mom.
Yeah.
And we listened. I listened to a third.
Probably about a third, maybe a half. But do you remember them talking about inflation?
Yeah, I do.
So there was runaway inflation, and
I remember this episode. Mainly of what I was listening to was solely talking about coin. Coins.
So there were coins, and there was inflation, and the Emperor Aurelian was replacing the coinage with heavier coins. And Britain and Gaul were most affected by the loosely regulated mints, I guess. And so these new wealthy refugees, I guess, to Britain did not appreciate the currency devaluation. And so there were currency rebellions in both northern Britain and southern Britain, which were referred to as Britain inferior and Britain superior. The south was superior, north was inferior.
You can rip the piece out or something.
Yeah, well, I was just looking at some notes. Everybody just calm down. Anyway, around that time, soon after that, Emperor Aurelius died. Thank you, Benjo. Thank you. We were just putting this in front. Okay. Emperor Aurelius died, and he was replaced by Emperor Probus. Okay. Emperor Probus in Rome.
But technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. There's some renewed interest in Britain from the Roman Empire, but at this point, we've been talking so much about the trouble with those rebellious tribes in the north.
Yeah.
Caused them to build Hadrian's Wall up here, and
well, I think it was right here.
Yeah, Hadrian's Wall right there, and the Antonine Wall closer up here. Okay, thank you for you got me there. So, but what we see now, though, Benjo, I got to bring my stick back out. What we see now, really, for the first time since Romano-Britain has been Romanized, taken over, and colonized by the Romans, is more of the threat coming from the coastline area here. Okay,
so where France is coming in right here.
Right, from the continent, and so they ended up calling the southern coast, and the southeastern coast, the Saxon coast. So this
they call it the southern coast.
The southern coast right here, really kind of the southeast is what we're talking about.
Okay, the southeastern coast.
Right.
They call that the Saxon.
Saxon coast, right? And over here they were fortifying in the west. This is Cornwall over here and Wales. They were fortifying for threats coming from Ireland.
Wait, I just want you to define the word fortifying real quick.
Building forts. Bringing military strength to the coastline. So for the first time since the Romans had colonized, the threat was not coming from up here from the northern Britons and what we know as Scots. It's coming from sea raiders, and we hear Saxons. The Saxons are coming. Okay, slowly but surely.
Yeah.
And
I just want to take a quick break. This just reminded me of something.
We have a sponsor? Is this an ad?
No. Well, Certain Cobra. Go check them out.
Yeah, we should.
They're a sponsor. But anyway, The Last Kingdom is a great show.
Great show.
Jamie recommended it. So
yeah, he did.
What, 4 seasons?
At least.
Something like that. But great show. And then there was 9 Kings Must Die. Or
7 Kings Must Die.
Yeah, 7 Kings Must Die. Just quick shout out to go check it out.
Yeah, Uhtred. Did the Saxons make you think about that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Buddy Rowe, we're going to be in the Saxon era from episode 50, maybe episode 45 to episode 400. I mean, it's going to be epic. Yeah, that's what I mean. Is this is like the first mentioning of Saxons, Germanic tribes that are coming. And Germanic tribes, if you go back far enough, the Germanic tribes include the Franks. The Germanic tribes include the Scandinavians. I mean, you know, we go back enough, we're all related, Benjo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know? Anyway, so
I'm related to you.
That's right. That's right. So the walls became really for the safety of the legions, not necessarily for your everyday Britons or even Romano-Briton citizens. The fortifications they're building was really to protect the military and the legions. But nonetheless, Emperor Probus was in Gaul, is putting down these rebellions, and Emperor Probus has a problem with Bonosus. Okay, I'm not quite sure how it's pronounced, but Bonosus was the leader that Probus had put in charge, a military leader he'd put in charge in Gaul. In Gaul, I'm talking about really France and current day France, Belgium, I guess, and Germany. Bonosus is his troops. He's asleep at the wheel. His troops are defeated at Cologne, modern day Cologne, Germany. All right, by barbarians, which we just think of as other like Anglo-Saxon type tribes.
Yeah.
Okay. So because of fear from Rome, what did a lot of leaders do when they got in trouble and they were in fear?
They resigned.
They just declared themselves emperor.
Wait.
Yeah, I know.
Wait,
like you can't question me. I'm the emperor.
Wait, you're saying?
So he had been defeated. He was worried that he was going to get in trouble in Rome, so he just declared himself emperor. I know.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm a little lost. The
Bonosus
of Britain.
I don't know where Bonosus was from, but he was leading the Roman Empire, the Roman legions, in a rebellion.
Who is the current Roman Empire?
Probus. Probus had put Bonosus. What did Probus have to say about that? We're about to get into that. So he declared himself emperor, but that didn't last long. The governor of Britain also rebelled, who Jamie doesn't even give his name. We don't know who that is. Emperor Probus sent a Moorish officer. Moors being from, do you know where the Moors were from? Remember that Seinfeld episode? The Moops, the Moors.
The Muppets?
You remember the Bubble Boy episode? All right, you'll have to watch that. You're going to have to watch that. Anyway, the Moors were from North Africa. And he sent Victorinus, a Moorish officer, to deal with all these rebellions. Victorinus got the job because the governor of Britain, I'm assuming the same one that just rebelled also, recommended him. So Victorinus put down the rebellion and put down the governor of Britain, who had recommended.
Put down as in killed?
It sounds like it. I mean, Jamie doesn't tell us if he finished him or not, but he put down the rebellion.
Put him down.
Put down the rebellion in Gaul and the rebellion by the governor of Britain, who had recommended Victorinus. Victorinus killed his own recommender. Anyway, the rebellion's over. Emperor Probus, he ends up sending prisoners of war from all these barbarian, Germanic, Anglo-Saxon, whatever tribes, sends them to Britain and basically makes them part of the Roman legions. These prisoners of war that he captured, he makes them Roman soldiers. What could go wrong, right?
Yeah.
You know? So we're at the year
281 AD.
Yeah, but we just call it 281.
Yeah.
We don't call it 2025 AD, do we?
I do.
You do?
AD, well, it stands for after death, but I think they changed it to like Anno Domini.
Anno Domini. You're right. You know what that means?
No,
I don't
no
really
clue at
know
all.
either. But anyway, sounds like what Emperor Probus was doing with these POWs that he made part of Roman legions is basically he didn't want to waste Roman soldiers on defending Britain.
Yeah.
So he sends.
Because I mean, Roman was just so powerful then.
Yeah, and they still.
And Britain was they're still kind of powerful, but like you don't want to waste your stuff. That's like I'll put this in football terms. The Chiefs are gonna play the Browns. For example, they put Carson Wentz as quarterback, which they lost.
But still, I get your point.
Yeah, you're not gonna waste
Right.
your people because then your best people could get killed.
That's a great analogy, Benjo. I couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, so Benjo, Probus then turned his attention to the Eastern Roman Empire. We're talking like, I guess, Greece, maybe Turkey, like over that area.
Yeah.
I don't know. And during Probus's march to defend the East, one of his Praetorian prefects, his elite guards, Carus, declared himself to be emperor. So Probus had to deal with this mutiny of his Praetorian prefect Carus, and so he tried to put that down, but all the soldiers sided with Carus. So Probus, he dead, or he about to be dead.
He about to be dead.
Yeah. So he doesn't say exactly when Probus died, but I'm assuming he did.
Yeah.
So Carus, okay. So Carus has a son named Carinus. All right. Carus and Carinus.
It sounds like Parinus.
Kinda. So Carus was Augustus. Augustus was like the main emperor. All right.
No, I thought that he already happened a long time ago.
Well, Augustus was a name. It was a title more than it. I mean, it was a title. And so Carinus was Caesar. So you may have had, I guess they divided Caesar Augustus into Augustus and Caesar. So Augustus is the senior, is the head emperor. The Caesar, Carinus, Carus's son.
They're named these after Julius Caesar and.
I don't know the etymology of the word and how it got corrupted, if it did. I don't know.
I mean, it just kind of seems like that's what.
That's maybe it is. That's a good question. We'll have to check our main source. Wikipedia. Anyway, so Carinus is the junior emperor, the Caesar. He declares victory over the rebellions in Britain and Germany. He comes in, and even though it sounds like Probus had already dealt with it, but whatever. But the old Carus, Carinus, father, son, head emperor, junior emperor, Augustus, Caesar, or structure doesn't last long. All right, because
I mean it's the dream, but
right. So 4 years after, we were just talking 281. In 285, Emperor Diocletian. I think I'm saying that right.
Outrageous name.
Yeah. Are you thinking about naming my grandson Diocletian? You are?
Diocletian, Carinus, Caesar, Augustus.
Emperor Diocletian reigned supreme by 285. Jamie then mentions the Bucaldae, and he says he's not exactly sure who they were, like whether they were a tribe or possibly it sounds like they were just a group of old disgruntled vigilante soldiers, maybe. I don't know, but Emperor Diocletian sent Maximian, sounds like a general, to deal with the Bucaldae, and he defeats the Bucaldae. Okay, and because of the victory, Maximian is promoted to co-emperor. So we've got.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, Diocletian as Augustus, right? And then Maximian as Caesar, the junior emperor. But then they also declared a split between East and West. And so the East would have an Augustus and a Caesar, and the West would have an Augustus and a Caesar. For y'all, the East would have an Augustus and a Caesar, and the West would have an Augustus and a Caesar.
For those listening on alternate sources, you just tune out.
Yeah, and he doesn't. It doesn't look like he says who was put in charge of like who was East and West, but
I feel like he should have included.
Yeah, that's kind of an important point. I agree.
But you are good.
No. Well, Maximian had the West. Okay. Maybe Maximian was the Augustus in the West and Diocletian was in the East. I'm not sure. But just know that there's 4 and they're all supposed to be ruling the empire together. Maximian puts a talented officer named Carausius in charge of the military. Carausius was of low birth, which means he worked his way up. He must have had a lot of talent. You don't just work your way up from low birth in those days without an extreme amount of talent. But he was very successful. But he was defeating raiders after they were raided. And this reminds me of a story, and I can't remember which one, but it was dealing with one of the...
So, like, they were defeating raiders after they were...
Right.
So, like, they were already wounded and injured, and they just...
These were raiders that had been into areas of the Roman Empire, had taken things from Roman citizens, and were going back to where they were. So Carausius was then coming in, beating the raiders, right? Defending the Roman citizens whose stuff had been taken. But this had to deal. God, I can't remember who it was, but it was from one of our past episodes where they were doing that too. I think it was. I can't remember. I don't have the rest of my notes with me. Forgive me. Maybe we'll put it in the notes.
Is that another note?
No, those aren't the notes. Those are songs I wrote.
This tiny book.
Yeah, I know. I had to use a alternate book. I'll probably use this after.
They can't see. They can't see.
This is so behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we should do a behind the scenes.
We should.
Episode.
Jamie's never done a behind the scenes. We can't do behind the scenes.
We can do behind.
If he's never done one, who are we to do one? Anyway, Benjo,
we can be a little bit of our own.
We can? Okay. So Carausius was defeating the raiders, but he wasn't giving the loot back to the Roman citizens. He was keeping it for himself.
So he was the only one who knew about this?
He was, no. I mean, I think, no. He was defeating, but he was not giving the stolen loot back to the Roman citizens.
Oh, I see. He was keeping all... They knew that he raided the raiders. So what did they think that he did with that?
So Maximius ordered Carausius to be killed. And so he was in trouble. So what did he do?
Wait, so Maximius is in trouble?
No, Maximius...
I know you said
Maximius ordered Carausius to be killed because he was not returning looted loot to the rightful owners.
You're saying...
So Carausius,
he fled to Britain and declared himself emperor of Britain.
Yeah.
What a plot twist.
What a plot twist. If you get in trouble, just declare yourself emperor of either the entire Roman Empire, Gaul, Britain, whatever, and then you have a...
That's like somebody from the Braves getting cut and then signing with the Marlins and declaring himself the best player on their team.
I can see where you're going with that.
Or the coach of the team.
Yeah. Or just like creating his own team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Benjo, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, fun episode.
Yeah. My dog. We look forward to renaming the British History Podcast wrap-up show. Let us know what you think.
I've been Benjo.
I've been B.
This has been the British History Podcast wrap-up show.
For the last time.
Don't believe